Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everyone. It is I, TheStarTamer, back from my 2-week exile to bring you guys content. My apologies for the lack of vid audios. I have been in Nauvoo, Illinois, so kind of difficult. Anyway, the Rainbow Vari event ended about 2.5 weeks ago near the very end of June, and the Loomian Legacy content drought has begun once more as we wait for either Atlantean Part 2 or the Halloween event. And therefore, it is time to dig up the old lore of Loomian Legacy and sift through hours of dialogue we've already read trying to find something we may have missed. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2 hidden trainers mentioned by an NPC in Mitis Town that have never again been mentioned or referenced in the 3 years since Mitis Town released, or when Loomian Legacy first came out, as far as I'm aware. For those who are confused, if we talk to this NPC in the small red house on the right before the small Mitis Town bridge, we find this NPC who gives us the first side quest in Loomian Legacy history, requesting us to bring her a gleaming Loomian. But it is what she says that is most intriguing. She says that she's seen gleaming Loomians before, but, quote, I've never seen one in the wild, but I've met 2 trainers who had one. Neither of them would let me get too close, unfortunately. And for the past 3 years, we have not seen these trainers, but now with Atlantean Part 1, I think I can finally say I have a pretty good idea of who one of these hidden trainers might be. Now keep in mind, this NPC is not referring to the trainers from the Rainbow Vari event, though every trainer in the Rainbow Vari event had a Gamma Loomian of some sort on their team. It wouldn't make sense that this NPC is referencing to these trainers as, first of all, it's an event, and there were more than just 2 trainers with Gamma Loomians, and not to mention it is highly unlikely the Loomian Legacy developers planned the Rainbow Vari event that far ahead of time because of, well, the event was a disaster. But enough filler content. Who's the trainer I believe has a Gleaming Loomian, and why? Well, I have a reason to believe it is Mr. FERRIX. And before you say anything, I know we haven't had a chance to battle Mr. FERRIX, or if he even has Loomians at all. In fact, one could argue that he doesn't even have Loomians because of how he asked the main characters, us, to save his daughter from the corrupt samurai in the Lotus and Beach update. But I do have a reason to believe Mr. FERRIX is holding back on us. At the end of the Atlantean Part 1 update, the main character is invited to dinner at the FERRIX mansion. Of course, the main character can't enter the FERRIX mansion at the moment, at least we have to wait until Atlantean Part 2 is released. It is likely that this invitation is just Mr. FERRIX showing his gratitude and showing appreciation, but he's already given us the quote, I don't know the exact name, but the Super Atlantean submarine passes. That is supposed to be super valuable possession in the Loomian Legacy world. But then again, Mr. FERRIX is a giga-billionaire with pretty much a complete monopoly over an entire city, similar to Dr. Vanta and Sephiroth, so maybe money doesn't mean all too much to Mr. FERRIX, and he wants to show his appreciation in a more intimate way.
But StarTamer, how does any of this give you reason to leave Mr. FERRIX as a gleaming Loomian?
He's a giga-billionaire. My theory is that there's a possibility that Mr. FERRIX may be in league with Dr. Vanta, because he looked kind of sus in the Atlantean poster. That is literally the entire basis of my hypothesis. And we might have to fight Mr. FERRIX in a Loomian battle, and I strongly believe that if we do have to fight Mr. FERRIX, he will likely have a Gleaming Loomian due to his vast monetary value. Listen, gleamings are a sign of wealth. Having a Gleaming Loomian is a pretty big status, is a pretty big sign or like image of your status, alright? So you can, Mr. FERRIX will likely have one, considering that Mr. FERRIX is the richest NPC we've seen so far. Another thing, the NPC in Mitis mentions how the trainers wouldn't let her get close to their Gleaming Loomians. It is possible that Mr. FERRIX has bodyguards. But other than that, the second trainer with the Gleaming Loomian mentioned by the Mitis Town NPC, I have no leads whatsoever. And if Mr. FERRIX doesn't have any Loomians in the next story update, I will make a follow-up video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching all the way into the end of the video. We are super close to 500 subscribers, and I have a big video and a big giveaway planned for my 500 subscriber special. So hit the subscribe button and stay tuned, because I got cool things coming. Peace out.